Alright, so let's create an evolving pad-like sound. I'm going to work with Wavetable in Engine 1. Click over here and load in something from the Pigments 3 category. Kind of has an organ-like sound, this Chord Morph Wavetable. So I'm going to double click and load this in. Now right off the bat, I like the sound of the wavetable position changing. So let's go ahead and load in an LFO to modulate that. So LFO 1, let's say. I want it to be slow, so I'm going to slow down the rate of LFO 1. Alright, Engine 2, let's turn it on. And let's switch to harmonic mode here. I'm going to turn off Engine 1 for a second so we can focus in on Engine 2. Let's switch to parity towards odd, so we get a square-like sound. Let's introduce some filtering. I'll pick this notch shape here. Increase the depth. And I would like to modulate this section parameter. Let's use that same LFO. Hit the plus button here, and LFO 1 is now modulating section. Pretty good. Let's also make use of the utility engine. I want another oscillator. Maybe just a sawtooth wave. We leave that as is and just reduce the level here. I'll make sure it's going to F2 because I want to filter this separately. We'll use a standard low-pass filter. Let's turn on the noise generator here. We'll leave it at F1 and leave the volume at around -10 decibels. And finally, in filter 1 here, I'm going to go in and load the comb filter. Sounds pretty interesting when we play with the frequency knob on this filter. Let's assign another LFO to this. So let's say LFO 2 is going to modulate this frequency. This too, I want a very slow movement. So I'm going to bring the rate down a lot. Alright, now let's go into the Effects tab and add in some effects. So we always want to check how the routing is set up. So right now it's both the filters being summed and then going into the two effects buses, and that's exactly how I want it. Though I do want to keep the two filters independent, so I'll switch this knob all the way to the right. So now both the filters are running in parallel as opposed to series. Alright, let's go into the Effects tab. Let's look at Effects Bus A. We have a delay and reverb. I'm going to swap out this delay with the pitch shifter delay. Let's load in a preset here. I like the shimmerish. In the reverb, let's load in a preset. Let's go with Cathedral. Alright, so the signal is going into FX bus A, and then it goes to FX bus B. Let's go into FX bus B and add in some more effects. I want to further filter the sound over here, so I'll load the multi-filter. And I want to create some pretty dramatic movement on this cutoff knob here. So let's load in one of the function generators to do that. We can choose one of these presets. Let's go with Rhythmic 3. And now let's assign this to modulate the cutoff here. Now while this is happening, I want to simultaneously make LFO1 affect the same cutoff. So let's do that. Multiple modulators on the same parameter. And then after this, I want to add another reverb. Let's try a different preset this time. Let's go for Hall. On the main synth tab, let's also use the send. So in parallel, the signal is also being sent to this aux track here, which again has reverb. But it does not have the modulated version of the signal going into the reverb. Now I completely forgot that we had engine 1 off. We've just been listening to engine 2 with the harmonic mode and the utility engine. Let's go back and turn on engine 1. So that was the wavetable. And let's have a listen to this again. I feel that this is adding a bit too much brightness, so I'm just going to tune this down an octave. And also reduce the overall output here. Alright, and with that we've come to the end of this course. I hope this sound design example gives you a little insight into how you can combine all these advanced functionality in Pigments into a practical real-world example. So this is Rishabh Rajan signing off, and I'll see you in the next one.